Hi there, folks. This is a round of ammunition that I found at our local private range. Now, our local private range is used by not just the civilian shooters who buy memberships there, but also by some police forces who do some training there a couple times a year. Anyway, on a recent trip, I discovered this round of ammunition lying in the mud, actually kind of buried in the mud, partially sticking out of the ground, over on the side of the range because we had had a lot of rain. I think this got basically uncovered by the heavy rains. So this has been in the ground, or on the ground, for, it has to be at least a year based upon the condition of it. The largest police force that uses the range really only goes there for an extended period of time once a year, and that would be usually in September. So this is at least a year in the ground, possibly two. And I just kind of left it as it was. You can still see some clay on it, so we'll give it a bit of a wipe off with a damp rag to get the clay off it. You can see that it's quite oxidized, but this is, if you can see the tip of it there, this is a hollow point round. I believe these are a 77 grain hollow point boat tail round in 5.56, and this is made by IVI Industries Valcartier Incorporated, and you can see the 2013 head stamp there. This is very much like the brass that the military uses, but the military does not use that range, and they do not use hollow point bullets, so this would be a police training round. You note the little bit of a dent in it there, which would tend to indicate that it had been chambered and then ejected from an AR-15 style of rifle, probably a Colt C8 rifle as used by several police departments in Canada. Anyway, what makes this interesting is this is a good test case to see just how well, waterproofed and how durable this ammunition is, because this spent at least a year in the ground, maybe two, and you can see you still see the primer sealant there, and these, I believe, are sealed at the neck with asphalt as well. So what I propose to do with this is to clean it up and then take it to the range at some point in time and see if it will still fire. The main reason I'm going to clean it up first is because I want to see if the cartridge case is still sufficiently integral to warrant firing it. If I clean it up and it looks too weak, I will not fire it. But we'll give it we'll make things even worse on this poor cartridge. I'm going to put it in the wet tumbler for a while and give it a tumble to see if I can clean some of the dirt off it. So here's the drum from the wet tumbler. I got some decapped brass in there. I've actually got some of the stainless steel pins mixed in there as well. A fairly aggressive cleaning method for a loaded round. For people who think that tumbling loaded rounds is dangerous, it is not. There are no firing pins in there. Those pins are not going around at any kind of a speed that they would detonate a primer, so this is not an unsafe thing. And it does not change the burning characteristics of the powder to tumble rounds. This has been proven in other tests by other people. So in it goes, and we'll put the cover on that, and we'll run it for probably a half hour and then check it, and then we'll see what it looks like then. And if it still doesn't look very good, we'll give it another half hour and see what the condition looks like. So on goes the lid, and we'll set the timer, and we'll get back to you after this thing has done some time spinning round and round. Alright, this thing's been bouncing around in there for about a half hour. Let's have a look and see how it's doing. Probably fairly scuzzy water, considering. Yeah, it's fairly grody. Let's see if we can find it in there amongst the rest of this stuff. Well, it doesn't look that much different even after a half hour. Still pretty tarnished. I think we'll throw that back in and let it run a little longer. Alright, it's a couple of days later and I'm out at the range. This round spent probably about an hour or so in the wet tumbler with the stainless steel pins. And it didn't clean up all that much, but it looks reasonably sound, at least cartridge case wise. So we're going to give it a try out of the Dominion Arms AR-15. Well, it worked. And here's the fired cartridge case. So not bad. This thing spent probably a year or two in the mud and an hour in a wet tumbler, and it's still fired. Not bad. Had the chronograph set up. Unfortunately, I didn't get a reading on it, but can't win them all. Anyway, just a short vid. Thanks for watching.